the little baby that had his toys
How
hanging
you
up there.
folks doing today? It's another rant rave in America. I actually do have my parents here with me again as well, so if they chime in the background, that's who'll be speaking. Alright, so I really don't know what to label today's video, folks. I really don't. Hypocrisy in the Democratic government, maybe? I don't know. But over the past week, I know I touched a little bit on the last video where we had Abbott from Texas busing in the immigrants up to Chicago, and they were bitching about that, and then sending out to Republican cities at the same time saying they're a welcoming town. Chicago's ready for it. Well, here's the other one. Now we got two Democratic state senators now. One is facing criminal charges, I think, for embezzlement, something like that, and the other one has sexual misconduct. And here's our Democratic governor saying that the Illinois people deserve better. They shouldn't have criminals in office and need to resign. Which was funny because our governor, in order to beat the system himself, removed toilets from his house. That way then it's not knowable and then can get a tax rebate or don't have to pay the tax on the property. Now last time I checked, that's also criminal. So we want to be really fucking hypocritical. I don't understand the Democratic way of thinking, apparently. Maybe it says I'm a Republican. I don't know. Maybe I'm just born backwards. I have no idea. Don't get it. Just like this, too. Chicago is a sanctuary city, and apparently the rest of Illinois is supposed to be a sanctuary state. I know a bunch of us people out here do not agree with that at all. We do not going to stand with illegal immigrants coming into our state. It ain't going to happen. It'll fly with me. I know a lot of folks that I talk to don't fly with either, so we won't call ourselves a sanctuary state. But if Chicago and all them want to call themselves sanctuary cities, then that's fine. But not only this, I was looking at a law, and I was talking with Dad about this too. Not only do they harbor illegal immigrants, and not only do we have a very corrupt officials in office, but they'll even go so far as anyone else that's committed a heinous crime, all the way up to murder. Murder will apparently they'll extradite back and forth. But anyway, what I'm getting at is, if they flee another state and a bounty hunter comes into the state, finds them and takes them back, we'll actually pop them kidnapping. Illinois will not, and they're one of four, that as a bounty hunter you cannot come into this state and track down a criminal. Because apparently we'll harbor criminals too in this state. I guess it makes sense. Half our fucking political system's corrupt anyway. But I call BS on that shit. I do believe that if you're going to be a criminal and if you want to try and evade and there's someone else out there wanting to come and get your ass, they catch you, then you should be brought to justice. Take them back and face the judicial system in the other state for the crime that you committed. Just my belief. No, I do believe it is a really fucking good one. And for you naysayers asking to go, oh no, that seems right to me. One, either you're born backwards, or you're voting Democrat. And believe it or not, another news out of Texas, there is even a Democratic governor in Texas, right there on the border. He just sent, I love him, Lori Lightfoot. You got another 360 immigrants heading your way from a bus from a Democrat down in Texas. Because he believes the same fucking shit. It's too much of a problem down there, and no one wants to face it. As long as it's away from them, the Democrats sitting up there in Washington, D.C. and all these other states are fine. The border's fine. It's not a problem. Fine then. They'll make it your problem. Deal with the problem that they're facing. For you assholes out there that want to say it's all political, that's all this is, a political stunt, bullshit. Face the problem. It's not fair for these fucking peons up there to sit up there in little cushy offices in these cushy states and go, as long as it stays at the border, we give a fuck. Not right.
Coming to a city near you.
360 more added on. Yeah. And this is also, it really tickles me. It tickles me. It's because it's so fucking stupid. Now, the Martha's Vineyard, where DeSantis dropped a bust of immigrants off on, and Lori Lightfoot and Pritzker are on the same thing. They are actually going after DeSantis and Abbott on criminal kidnapping charges because they bust them over state lines. How? What? Does that make any sense whatsoever?
No, it don't. How can he... Huh?
True facts. Martha's Vineyard, Lori Lightfoot, and Pritzker. Martha's Vineyard's going after DeSantis, Pritzker, and Lori Lightfoot are going after Abbott, saying criminal kidnapping charges. Because they took them from Texas or in Florida and took them out of the state of Florida, moved across state lines. That's kidnapping.
Only if they didn't want to go.
These immigrants got on the bus. And here's where the immigrants are coming from. This is their saying. Well, we were promised that everything else would be fine once we got here. They probably were, because that's what the Democrats are promising. All they did was repeat what the fuck these fuckers said. Yeah, we have open borders. Come to our country. We'll give you everything. So I'm pretty sure DeSantis and Abbott said, hey, go to these towns. They're set up for you. Go. It's not lying to them. I'm sorry if the Democrats lied and got called off on it. Democrats' problem. But you want to bring up criminal charges. I tell you, folks, this country's got it's something.
Kidnapping.
I mean, on the plus side, we now have ourselves fighting amongst ourselves, and Biden sitting there in the Oval Office going, yes, I'm off the list. Yeah, you're welcome, Mr. Fucktard. Sleepy Joe, no one's talking about you anymore. We're talking about immigrants and Democrats inside this country going against Republicans, and hell, Trump's pretty much made backseat news.
He shouldn't have been front seat news to begin with.
Well, I think Trump said it best when he says, when I'm out of here, y'all are going to miss me. No, Mr. President, they don't. They keep bringing your name up. Apparently they miss you so bad. Actually is right. Well, they do miss him. They keep bringing shit up just to keep talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure CNN right now is throwing a fit. Our ratings are down. Well, this happened with Trump. What? Well, he took a shower this morning. Great. Report on it.
Did he use a shower cap?
Fucking news.
Hey, you gotta love free enterprise.
I even forgot what the latest investigation over Trump even is. It's been so long. I know the FBI probe's still ongoing.
Yeah, him stealing top secret documents.
If you can even say that. Half the folders that they have pictures of were empty. And apparently supposed documents were spread upon the floor.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what to make about this country. It's turned into a shit show. I was going to say zoo. I don't think we're at that point yet. I think we're still a show.
Now get it right. We're a circus. Because everybody on the planet's laughing at us.
That's true.
So we got to be a circus.
Actually, I wouldn't say every other. I mean, I think the humor spread between two countries, us and Russia.
Yeah.
We're just all clowns.
Russia can't run a war right, and we can't run our own country right. So hey, there we go.
And by the way, speaking of Russia, folks, for those of you out there that are worried about, oh my God, we're talking about nukes, seriously, Putin might be fucking crazy. But if he was seriously going to be crazy enough to do a nuke, it would have happened already.
But like Flood said, though, what's more dangerous than a strong man who isn't strong anymore? People like that, you don't know what the hell they're going to do.
But again, if he was that crazy, it would have already happened already.
No, not yet. Right now, he's just trying to get his tanks running so that he can continue the war. His tanks are breaking down. His jeeps aren't running. He's working on it. He's fixing it.
I forget if I was talking to you about it or I was talking to someone about this. And I said there is a difference between our armies, and when I mean our armies, I'm also talking about France, Germany, the UK, and us, compared to Russia's. We will continue to fight. We have pride in ourselves. We will continue to fight. Russia needs leadership behind them. They have no pride. They have nothing there that holds them to continue a fight unless a leader is right there saying, hey, keep on going. And that's what's stalling them down right now.
You mean it ain't the tanks that
there
won't
wasn't
run?
a pun there on stalling. As cute as that would have been, but no.
You mean it's not the tanks that won't start and roll down the street or nothing?
Hey, catch your armed forces. The tank just stopped. Cool, keep.
Not Russia. They all go, oh my God, the tank stopped. We can't fight no more.
You get through there once you open that window.
I like this now, where they have Russian.
I can't
What's
get
the word I'm
through right
looking
now.
for? Russian sympathizers in the provinces that they're fighting in right now in Ukraine. And they want to be part of Russia. So Russia's going, okay, well, I know it's going to happen, folks. Talk attached to the table, and down goes the phone. It's going to happen at some point in time. You should be good until anyone touches the table again.
That's when you become the towel.
Mom's saying that's why I should use the towel. I suppose I could, but then I was too afraid of being shot. Yeah, we had a heck. There was too much light, thing went out of focus, and again, a lot goes into videos. If you're me. If you're my dad, he just goes, why don't you just move to the other side of the table? Huh, that makes sense. I didn't think of that.
I told you to do that.
Oh, okay, sorry, Mom did. Either way,
Dad just walked back
apparently
behind
I'm
it.
not smart enough to figure that out on my own.
Well, you never did listen to your mom anyway.
That's not true. I'm now sitting on the other side of the table.
Cause Dad.
Hey, secondhand knowledge is just as good as firsthand.
Ask Biden about that.
Biden just keeps listening to the wrong people.
We have a president in
She's in her
office
table.
who's going to read his script and then go, ask question, read end of line, repeat quote. Mr. President, what? You weren't supposed to say those. But it's there on the screen. Don't. Do you have to put everything on teleprompter? He will read it.
Damn, Sherman. He's pissed.
He's outside.
Ah.
Like I tell you, folks, we have Democrats and Republicans pretty much tooth, claw, and nail verbally, but we can't get Sleepy Joe out of office for one day. Explain it to me. Explain it to me. Somebody explain it to me.
He deserves his nap. Then when he wakes up, he's got to go back to work for an hour so he can take his nap.
Well, can we at least get him back into the basement?
They didn't want him. That's why they stuck him in the Oval Office.
I think that's actually a good idea. I just came up with a really good idea. Let's tell Sleepy Joe, Joe, what? Putin's bombing us. Just go to the shelter. This one? Yeah, just go down there. Go. Don't worry about it. Snoopy's coming too. Go ahead.
Now he's talking about kidnapping the president.
I didn't say kidnap the president. Just put him back down the basement.
I'm still shocked he's in office, but hey.
I'm not. Do we really want Kamala Harris running this fucking country right now? No, thank you. Don't stick with Sleepy Joe.
Well, like Flood said, Hillary would have been a better choice. At least she had an agenda.
It's still her agenda. She would be doing the same thing, if not worse. I know I can hear some of these female voters out there. Calm the fuck down. Get declawed. Shit. Hillary lover? You're probably one of the first people she'd fucking whack off. Really? Is it me?
I've just been woman on PMS.
Yeah, that'd probably be Kamala's agenda. What are they? Republican state? Nuke. What are they? Republican state? Nuke. What's that with Democrat? I'll leave them alone.
I know, I was watching to see if it'd fall too when he was doing that. All I did was move a chair and it fell.
We have come to the day and age where presidents are now setting their own agendas, and last time I checked, that their agendas only work partially. But we are now in the day and age they can do what the fuck they want to do. There was a reason why I come to the system was set up with checks and balances. When you take away the checks and balances, this is what you get.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, it was set up that way because most people were farmers back in the day and they couldn't stay away from their business more than 4 years. Now you have career politicians who's been up there since 1967.
Like I said, it started at the age of about 21.
Yeah, and then they just never go anywhere because people keep voting them in.
Yep.
Well, of course most people, if they don't know what's going on, and that's 90% of Americans don't know what's going on, first thing they're going to do is that when they recognize the name that's on the ballot, oh, I recognize that name, punch. And there you go.
Which is why the Democrats came out with a harsh warning. Jesse White is running for Secretary of State, but it's not the Democrat Jesse White. This one's a Republican. They're warning tit for tat, quote unquote.
Yeah. When I got my driver's license back in the 90s, it was $75 for the title, plates, and sticker. Now what is it? $100 and some odd dollars to do it? And it's supposed to go up again?
Which brings up a really good point. Now, for those of you that are in school and they're hopefully they're still teaching this country, the reason we rebelled and had a revolution against England was because of taxation. Now, a lot of people are like, well, we're represented because it was no taxation with representation. I disagree. We are not represented. Yeah, we have someone out there that says they represent us, but when the fuck do they actually come and talk to us? Even when they do they actually listen to us? No. So, no, we are not represented. But anyways, I digress. Taxes. We rebelled over taxes. And now here we are overtaxing ourselves. And apparently we're not okay with that? That's fine. I mean, really? 5% tax on the groceries, 2% tax on gas, 3% tax on the property tax, which I'm sorry, really, as my dad would love to tell you, you buy the property, it should be fucking yours, not the government's.
All you're doing is leasing it. Same way with your car and your house and everything else. You don't own a damn thing in your life anymore. You're leasing it from the government. Because if you don't pay their taxes, they come and take it. Well, if I own it, you can't take it. So apparently, I don't own it.
Right. Yeah, so you're just borrowing shit off the government, and then you're getting overtaxed for it. When we set up the country to not be overtaxed. I really lost track of when the fucking taxes really started coming in hand over fist.
In the 1880s, if I remember right, from what we was watching before, that's when they brought in the property tax. It was in the 1880s or 1890s, somewhere in there.
That was Little House on the Prairie.
I'm sure they didn't lie about it though, because the whole show was about being taxed for it. So I'm pretty sure they were close. It's somewhere in there. And in 1940s was the income tax was
That was to help out over World War One.
yeah, World War One, World War Two, one or the other. But it was only supposed to be a temporary tax.
Right.
All taxes were supposed to be temporary, but they kept them.
And they keep them. Why?
Because we allow it. And
yeah, I'm staring at all of you. We allow it.
But then they made it a law that you can't sue the government. Even sue them and say, hey, wait a minute, it's supposed to be a temporary tax. I want my money back.
No, but we can do one thing. It was done on January 6th.
And that would be...
Hey, I'm just saying. A lot of people say that, yes, was over the elections, which, yes, it was. No one believes that that motherfucker won a goddamn election. Sorry. Not sorry.
I decided I'd steal one.
I sat up that night working the graveyard shift watching the damn elections. Come 4 a.m., all of a sudden Biden's getting votes into our pissed how. And you can call it mail-in ballots, and you can argue with me till you're blue in the fucking face. Don't believe it. There's no way a man jumps that fucking quickly after trailing in the polls for 4 hours. Especially when you got other states calling the race at 91%, 82%.
The people in the graveyards got up and decided they were going to vote.
That's what I've heard. I've heard there's a few coffins released. Previous owners now up and around running around, so. It was only used once.
You know, I'm not a big conspiracy. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. But I do believe the government, to this day, still does a lot of good for the public. But they make sure for every good thing they do, the other hand is doing two damn things that you didn't want them to do to begin with. So while this hand's over here going, yeah, we're helping you out, public. Yeah, check out what we're doing. I'm over here raising your gas tax and your grocery tax and everything else. Oh, no, we didn't do that. The recession did that. Bullshit, you did it. You decided you're actually going to do something good for us, and then you turn around and take it all away.
Which, speaking of that, I'm sick and tired of hearing this damn spiel out of the damn Democrats' mouths. It's not because Biden shut down the Keystone Pipeline and shut down this pipeline. That's not why come your gas prices are high. Motherfucker, that was oil coming in from our own states, by the way. Really? Explain to me how he's not responsible for gas prices. And then in the same token, they'll say that, and then when the gas prices go down, go, oh, look, our president did that. Yeah, our guy. Wait, weren't you just 2 months ago bitching saying he's not responsible for that? And now in the same Jimmy retard moment, you're going to come at me and go, yeah, that was our guy. He did it. Really? Pick a fence, dude.
That was good.
Got a weak wrist.
You just admitted to being limp-wristed?
Sprained a bit.
You'll never do that again. Straight up.
Nice. Fell down three steps and stood straight up. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I probably won't be able to do that again. At least till next week.
Must have.
But when he was going about with taxes and all that, I don't know if they ever did it or not, but you might know since you're up on all that political shit.
Mm-hmm. Pulled a hamstring.
Wasn't Trump? I don't think it was Obama, but one of the presidents was talking about if you're AT&T or an American-based company, if you decide you're going to ship all your stuff to like Pakistan or whatever and have it made and bring it back, we're going to tax you for it.
Oh yeah, that was Trump.
As a foreign person bringing something in.
Yeah, that was Trump.
Okay, I wasn't sure who.
And he was saying that before he even got elected. He was doing that during his campaigning. And you know what happened? I'm sure a lot of you do. Carrier decided, oh wait, no, it's cool. If he gets elected, yeah, no, we're going to stay in the U.S. Ford was looking at shipping down a big, huge manufacturing plant down in Mexico. The Mexicans are like, yeah, party, yeah, come bring it. All of a sudden it was like, no. Oh, time to take a siesta.
Now
And then
that'd been perfect.
there was a couple of other companies that were looking about going to, I think, somewhere in Europe. And they said the same thing. Nope, nope, nope. Brought it right back here in the U.S. But that was all Trump.
So he did do something right. See, you guys? He did more right than what people are talking about. Because yeah, it's an American company. It should stay in America.
This is why I keep telling people, if you honestly only saw the bad stuff that Trump was doing, or hearing about bad stuff Trump was doing, I guarantee you weren't watching Fox fucking News. You were listening to CNN, NBC, and CBS. I even watched those channels, and it was all anti-Trump. The only people that were doing both, calling Trump out on what he shouldn't be doing, or if he said something stupid, and then congratulating him when he did do anything great, that was all Fox. They had it pat right down the fucking middle with him. And that's why I still love Fox News. They are, to me, completely biased.
Actually, that's what we watch. It's Fox. 9 o'clock.
If you believe anything different, you're watching CNN.
Fox News is Springfield, babe.
He's talking about cable.
Yeah, Fox 55.
It's still Springfield. Fox is Springfield. 17
Channel
is Decatur.
17 is WAND.
That's Decatur.
That's NBC. That's Democratic. That's the Democrat network.
We're 55 out of Springfield.
That's Fox.
And that's what we watch every night at 9 o'clock.
And I could see it now when I post this video. People are going to be, Well, I'm sorry. You can believe whatever the fuck you want to. Your channel's a fucking Democratic network.
That's what I said.
But it's still Springfield.
No.
Ah.
No. It's like CNN and all that, but it's Fox.
Ah.
That's what that's me. I'm like, no.
Okay. Well, you might be. You're half right then.
Yeah.
There's 2 different Foxes: Fox News and then Fox 55.
Quite frankly, I would give props to one channel if they could actually air legitimate bullshit. I
Big
would
Bang
love
Theory.
I would love a C-SPAN.
Still is. Last
Yeah,
time I
but
had
they
cable.
only air what they want to air.
Well, of course. I mean, they're not going to show
But
you.
if they were going to air actual shit,
Do you really think fat old men sitting smoking big fat stogies and cigars and cigarettes after they went ahead and pretty much outlawed smoking in public places in the entire country? Hell no, they're not going to show you them sitting there smoking cigarettes and drinking whiskey. Hey, come here. I want to screw AT&T this month. God. Really? You want to go shoot the wolf? All right, we'll put that back on the ballot. We'll make it 300 pages long, so nobody will actually read the whole thing. We'll get it through.
he's got a point. They do that too. But no, but the BBC, they show their parliament. It used to be the biggest show on earth. I used to love staying up late at night and watching the parliament in the BBC. Now I don't have to. I could actually turn on C-SPAN, or hell, just one of our local channels and
What
watch
the hell's
our.
BBC?
It's the British television program.
Oh, are you
But
talking
they
about
would
their
actually
parliament?
show their parliament. Now I don't have to watch that show anymore to have a laugh. I can watch our own. You want a bunch of monkeys acting up like teenagers? Go ahead. Turn on C-SPAN. Turn on CNN. Happy to show you our Congress in action.
He's doing a video.
Yeah, it used to be they were the circus in town.
Actually, England's doing a hell of a lot better than we are.
Some saying apparently Dad was right. Here.
But then he brought up having an army. I had to laugh about
Standing army.
Really? Okay.
It's not much of one, but they have one. So do the Germans. May not be much of one, but they have one.
Yeah, we ain't gonna go with the Germans though. They was kicking everybody's asses.
By the way, you guys want to see a really good what if? Look on YouTube. It's there. It's about an hour-long documentary about what would have happened if the U.S. would have sided with the Axis to the Allies. It's really interesting, really intriguing. And yes, the U.S. still comes out on top.
We're the
It starts off as Hitler pays us no, never mind, let's throw a little pee on, and after, by the end of the war, he's going, thank you, thank you.
Putin screwed up.
What the fuck hasn't he screwed up?
No, he decided that he was going to draft 100,000 men. So he actually sent his guys out with the police, knocking on doors, giving them their draft notice. They gave it to one guy who refused it, said if he was not going to be drafted, he was going to call that guy's superior, who was friends, I guess, with somebody's dad or somebody that he knew, and he wasn't about to be drafted. And he wasn't drafted. Well, it finally trickles down to all the population that if you got money, you don't get drafted.
Well, that's Russia, period, if you got money. Which, speaking of money, and here's a funny thing, all right? Trump issued tariffs, all right? Hardcore, you're losing money if you don't act right. We're back to the administration who's now issuing out sanctions. All right, let me clarify this. Russia's been under sanctions for 50 fucking years. If you really think sanctions are going to work against this country, it hasn't worked the past 50. It's not going to work now. Russia was still invading countries. They were, during the Clinton administration, they went into Georgia. Underneath the Obama administration, they were in Kazakhstan. Now they're in Ukraine. Trump is Russia. 4 years, Russia never made a move into the country. But you look back at other presidents, including this one, Russia's made a move in some way, shape, or form trying to reclaim territory. So sanctions do not work with Russia. You want to play hardball? Hit them where it hurts. Hit them in the pocketbook.
What pocketbook? Russia's broke. Why do you think they're invading? Russia needs the resources. They're broke. But you're forgetting one thing with America. What did Batman say in one of his movies?
Eckhart, it's the one I'm thinking. It's the line I'm thinking you're thinking.
No, it was his butler. Told Bruce Wayne
Because tomorrow's Sunday.
about something.
It'll be Monday,
How do you
so
put that?
tomorrow's Sunday.
If you stay in the game long enough as the hero,
Your surgery.
sooner or later, you'll become the villain.
Yeah, that was Aaron Eckhart's character when he's sitting there at the table in the restaurant. He goes,
It only took 2 minutes.
they were talking about how the Romans at one point in time, enemies are at the gate. They would appoint someone to defend them. And it was, whoever it was playing Rachel, she goes, well, yeah, but the last person that did that was Caesar. He never got this power. That's she turned around and says, fine, you either die a hero, or you see yourself, or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. Which, that is right. That is where the U.S. is going.
We were the hero through the 40s, 50s, and 60s and 70s. Now we're turning into the villains. Now we're going over there telling people what they have to do and what they can do. That's why I say the UN's a joke. We run the UN.
Bro,
They do as we say.
To a point.
now Brandon, why did you break that chair for?
Doing a video.
Yeah, I know.
To a point. There's also a reason why most of the world hates the Western influence.
Oh, okay.
No country should push their beliefs on another country, period.
But we are. We tell them what they can and can't do.
And we're not the only ones that have done it.
Let's go.
The very first country, actually, you can't really call it a country, it's a kingdom. It eventually would grow to be an empire. The Romans were the very first ones to push their culture
No, they weren't.
off.
Alexander the Great was.
Okay, I stand corrected.
And before him was Genghis Khan. And look at how all that turned out. Then Rome. Then
Well, I'm
England.
talking about the countries actually being set up. At that point,
Genghis Khan was, yeah, he moved around too much. Alexander the Great, he had Constantinople. But that was just one of them. It had to be Rome.
Rome would be the very first country to
Organized.
push their beliefs off onto someone else.
Yep.
And then France came about. France then became the next major power. And then they started doing it. And then it was Britain. And now you got the U.S.
Yep. Live, like you said, live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
All because we think that we're going to do a better job and make the world better. And yeah, no.
We can't even make our own country better. We're sending millions and millions of dollars overseas and millions of tons of food overseas to everybody else because we're going to feed them, but we can't even feed the starving people in our own country.
Not only that, there's a little rave for you folks. Not only that, but you're going to tell me that's it, we're going to go and feed everybody else. We got homeless motherfuckers here, all right, living out in the fucking streets. And before we even take care of them, the number one fear of people we should be taking care of is our fucking vets. But no, we will even take care of the homeless first before we do a vet.
That's wrong.
Which is B fucking shit.
Yeah, actually, you are right. We know, actually, I knew a vet, he's dead now, bless his soul, that he kept going to the VA back over and over and over trying to get help, and they wouldn't help him at all.
And I have heard so many people say, what has your Republican Party done for vets? Let me tell you something. Trump redid the veterans. Completely redid it. Now doctors are held accountable. Not only that, but you can still use your VA benefits and be able to pick your own doctor. Trump did that. So anyone that tells me what did my party do for them,
that was Clinton.
That's what our party has done. More than any other president has done. And they've had plenty of opportunity to do it.
But see, we're supposed to be a rich country. Nobody's supposed to know that.
Oh, it all depends on your definition of rich. If you're talking about the money, that's 5% of the population here in America.
Oh, I know.
The rest of us just hardworking, average Joe citizens.
I know. Good job of it. Raising money for the vets. Remember his commercials and all that?
Got a few superstars out here that'll do that.
Chief
among them is Toby Keith. I love Toby, what he does for the vets. He went and donates into the Wounded Warrior and POWs and MIAs.
I didn't even think they were still around.
What, the
POW and MIAs?
Oh, yeah.
I thought, okay. I thought that died out after Vietnam. Maybe I need to start checking in more into this political crap.
No, that benefit group is still around.
Wow, I thought we finally found everybody. I thought Rambo did that.
No,
I shouldn't be interjecting. It's his.
My pause. I'm very hesitant to. My cousin came over. He lied and saying this, but what really gets me is we had 3 that came back from overseas that thought were missing. When they came back, you got. Then we got the one sent back a few months, and all Biden did was just stand there. He didn't do really shit. When we walked up, touched the. I mean, man, leading the country, job is to really show some respect, and got that from Biden at all. Here you go, president that's going, standing there, full on salute, and another one's just standing there and just. I mean, anyone come up just. That just rubbed me in a very raw manner. But anyways, yeah, there are still that we'll probably hear about that'll eventually another country like, yeah, whether they got lost or whatnot, I don't know. Yeah, they'll still be sitting home and they're still around.
I didn't know. This day and age, that on the top of the boat, you can stare from space and know exactly where everybody's at.
Yep.
Got your dogs and almost got
Still being brought home when the ones World War II, Vietnam era.
Yeah.
The Korean War era.
I finally missed.
Back then, we didn't have that. Which is really helpful. Because then we actually know what's going on. And so do the superiors. Which, speaking of this, folks, to me, 8 hours. Rehash memories, I'm not going to go into all the details. But it was overflow. And there was that was coming out in 2004, freshly after the second Battle of Fallujah happened. It was so cool, they actually canned the game. Like, okay. And then a few years later, it was 2008, another company picked up, like, look, we're going to put this back in development. Again, the controversy was brought up about, look, this battle's only 4 years. Are we really going to launch a video game? They go, okay, no, we're not. Then the company went bankrupt. They're like, nope, can't even do it anyway. Then Konami picked it up. This is 2012. And again, it was, are we a video game? So Konami goes, you know what? All right, fine. There's so much bad vibes around this video game, we're not going to do it. Well, I just found out yesterday that another company has picked this game up. Stopping them at all. The release is late this year. It's called 6 Days in Fallujah. Don't agree with this game being made. On the other hand, though, pick it up. It is supposed to go tit for tat with what happened out there. Maybe you guys get a perspective from a soldier's point of view. Really don't agree with this game being made at all. But it is happening. Late 2022 is the release date for it. Yeah, that's what I have to say about that. I'm really holding back much fun to go off on it. I do not agree with this game being made. It should not be published at all. After everyone's saying no, this is just bad juju. It really is. We were talking about one of the worst periods in the Iraqi war. Should not be done. But anyways, enough on that one. But hey, if it gets released though, you just have to go ahead, pick it up. See what it's like to be a soldier. I know it's just a video game, but maybe give you some perspective. That way then, when you have a vet in front of you that asks for a discount to get a cup of coffee, you'll be less inclined to bitch at him for wanting this fucking discount.
Okay, he's got a point on that, I guess.
Yeah, don't agree with this game being made, but hey, it's going to happen.
Well, look at that game they had for GameCube and all that. Oh, that one where we have it, A Bridge Too Far, the movie. It's part of that video game that I used to play on GameCube, and then they redid it on PlayStation 1. You're in World War II, and you're a soldier, and you do different battles through, and that was definitely different. That was an eye-opener.
Yeah, and I'm glad Dad brought that up. Let me expand on my displeasure on this one here. Before y'all go off on me going, well, there's Call of Duty, there's this, you got all these other games. Those don't have to do with an actual conflict per se. It takes place during a time period like the Medal of Honor series. Yeah, it takes place during World War I or World War II. But it doesn't go off of what actually happened. They have their own make-believe story behind World War I or World War II. Same with the Call of Duty franchise. They make up their own campaigns for them. This one here literally has to do with what happened, tit for tat. And that I don't agree with. That's my uproar about it. If they want to do 6 Days in Fallujah, have it its own little thing where it's completely make-believe, made-up scenario, fine. But this is, they're actually taking what happened and putting it into a game.
Oh, you're talking about like what the reenactors do for the Civil War and all that.
Kind of, sort of. Yeah.
But it's supposed to, but they do exactly, the reenactors do exactly what happened on the battlefield. So that's what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Now I understand.
Yeah, they're not making up a campaign on or nothing. They're going tit for tat. This is what happened. This is what we're putting in the game. And now you got to relive it.
Should wait till at least the vets are dead before you,
Or just don't do it fucking period.
or at least wait till they're dead so that they don't have to see kids playing it. Can you imagine your son going out and buying that game? Hey, Dad, weren't you here? and they're playing it on a 55-inch screen TV. Like, yeah, talk about post-traumatic stress syndrome. Okay, now I understand what you're talking about.
My mom wants some menthol, folks.
Yeah, I know. And she's gonna steal one of my cigarettes to do it. How is that fair?
By the way, don't ever play poker with my mom. This is what happens. What do you mean you bid 40? Oh, it's his chips anyway.
Now I know how she always wins on Monopoly. When you turn your back, she's swiping your money off the table. She ain't stealing from the bank, she's just robbing you. I could have swore I had a couple 500s here.
Call me a Democrat.
Call her a Democrat.
Or Republican.
She's in Congress, folks. No wonder our tax rates are so fucking high. Yeah, shit, a lot that's gone on. This is just in the past week.
Look at that, Charlie. She put it back in there for you.
Yeah,
Wow.
but she stuck a menthol in there, so now I know sooner or later I'm gonna wind up.
Brandon's
Okay.
got the menthol.
I'm gonna say,
Karen's got the menthol.
your mom's done that to me before, and I grabbed a cigarette.
Not used to
What the hell was that?
Yeah.
Her sit there and laugh at me.
It's called Russian roulette with a cigarette. Or like Forrest Gump says, life is like a bar of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. You know, it's like a pack of cigarettes. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, I know, I married you. I thought I married one person, but hell, you got like 5 different personalities. Never know which one I'm gonna get.
Speaking of a box of chocolates, you never know what you're going to get. Have you guys heard about the new laws they're trying to get passed for the midterms? Pay attention to those.
Don't tell me it has to do with chocolate.
Yeah.
No, you don't know what you're going to get.
Oh, that's true.
But the way the government right now is setting the laws up, no, it definitely weighs heavy in the Democrats' fucking favor.
Did you hear what Biden just did? About the colleges?
The debt relief
I
program?
love that.
Yeah, he's forgiven almost $7 trillion in student debt.
Yeah.
Yeah. But did you also hear,
Yeah.
too, though, there are 10 states suing his ass for overreach?
But hold on. My point is,
Okay.
the colleges are going to have to recoup that money somewhere.
What are you doing?
That means higher tuitions,
Checking
higher book
Oh.
rentals, higher rent if you want to live on campus, because they got to make that money back somewhere.
Goes flat.
And the only
You
thing
gotta raise
Biden
it up.
said that made any sense at all was, well, they're just able to raise costs and raise rates wherever they want to. Fine, don't forgive the debt. Go on the university and say, you can't do this no more. Here's your flat rate.
There you go.
Don't forgive the debt. Hammer them. Say, look, this is a
Yep.
flat rate. That's what you guys can set.
He signed it.
But no, instead, he's going to forgive millions of dollars.
Trillions of dollars.
Trillions of dollars.
Trillions.
Flood brought it up yesterday when I was out there working with him. He says that, and I agree with him totally. He says all the stimulus checks, the gas tax and all that, everything, sooner or later it's going to come back and it's going to bite everybody in their ass. And I agree with him.
Went off.
Sooner or later, it's going to bite you in your ass.
What about
Eventually, the federal government's going to have to recoup that money somehow, some way.
And there's been a few of the
Or you too.
packages that have been taxed that people are finding out they have to pay for that in their taxes.
I mean, think
I
about
don't
it.
remember which ones, but they're on the internet. You pay back the taxes, you guys can find it.
Think about it. Food stamps. The Link. Well, now it's called the Link program. I agree with that. I'm poor. You're poor. It's nice to have a little help along the way to make sure that we got everything we need. But just instead of giving it to the people that actually are Social Security and everything, that people that are actually poor because of the pandemic and all the crap that's going on, they're giving it to people that's making $100,000. Why do they need it? They didn't need any of that. But you give it to them anyway? But we're paying the higher taxes. We're paying out of pocket. I'm sorry, if you're making $100,000, you're driving a fucking Mercedes. You don't need the Link program. You don't need a stimulus check. You don't need shit.
That's the Democratic way of thinking now. Everything's for everybody.
See, my thing is, I make too much money. That's why I don't get linked.
Just like I disagree with the tax rebates, as Pritzker's calling it, the gas stimulus. That only goes out to people that pay taxes.
Yeah, what's that good then?
Oh, that's because we're on Social Security.
Anyone else that can really use the money, are they going to get a benefit from it? No. So for those ones that are maybe well off, maybe you're not well off, they don't pay taxes, you're fucked in the system.
Not really, because when the government decides they're going to get their money back, because you know they're going to get their money back some way, somehow. It's going to be the poor motherfuckers like the four of us sitting around our just goddamn table, having a couple cold beers, because I made a little bit of money today. They're going to come back and they're going to take our houses, they're going to take our fucking cars, they're going to take everything. Because between me and your mom, you know how much money we make a year? About 12 grand. But they keep raising our property taxes. We don't own the property. We own our house. At least we're supposed to own our house. But they tax us for it every fucking year. It goes up and up and up.
And for those of you that aren't that well educated or too young yet to understand what Dad's talking about, trust me, eventually you'll get there when you own your house. It's called a
property tax.
Property tax.
Even if you don't own the land, you still got to pay a property tax on your house. The government's going to come back and going to get their money, and like the four of us sitting around here, we're going to lose everything because we can't afford to pay it back. But that guy's making $100,000 every year. He's going to be like, okay, let me write you out a check. Here you go.
Well, then we get the stimulus food stamps. We don't get
And
the
for
check
those
or
of you that didn't listen or didn't
Or
want
gas
to
relief.
listen,
But sooner or
You
later,
were
that
all
gas tax is
warned
going to go, and it's
beforehand.
going to go from our nice $3.30 whatever we're paying now. It's going to jump to $9 a gallon. They're going to get their money back.
Well, I mean, she just won't be going nowhere.
Buy a fucking horse and a fucking wagon.
Like the
Less
old
wear and
days.
tear on the fucking vehicle.
and like I said, for those that didn't listen, you guys were warned beforehand.
So what are you thinking new steps back there?
Oh, wow.
When Trump said, if you vote for Democrat, you're going to get the Green New Deal, higher taxes, your oil's going to go bye-bye, coal plant's going to shut down. Everything you said was going to happen if you vote Democrat, that's all happening. You were warned. Even if you didn't want to listen, you were warned.
Well, here's the new one.
What was
Biden is now trying to pass a law. I don't know if you've heard it yet. I found out from Flood.
She Democrat.
That
Republican.
that,
I think she was Democrat.
if Biden has his way, just like California, by 2023, all cars are going to be made electric. You won't be able to buy another car that's gas powered.
Well,
He's trying to put it in such a way and set it up in such a way that everything's going to be electric. Which I'm pretty sure the coal-fired plants are going, woohoo, yeah, let's do this.
You know what?
I
And you
love
can
it.
hear
Like
the oil
that.
companies going, no, we ain't doing that.
Terry, you know what's going on in Springfield today?
Uh-uh.
Here's my video. That's going to go live.
Yeah, what was really funny is there was a guy who was doing an interview with the makers of the electric charging stations. He says, this all runs off of electric. Oh, yeah, it's going to charge electric
Yeah, it
vehicle.
goes live.
Yeah. What powers it? Guy looks down at his feet and goes, coal. The most dirtiest substance on the planet that started the whole carbon monoxide shit to begin with. That's the only thing that's going to be operating. Great.
Like
Apparently, the new Green Deal is pretty much a green-black deal.
Well, like I
Biden
said,
just doesn't know it yet.
then them old coal-fired plants are going, yeah, let's do this. Because they're going to make billions and billions off of it.
And I hear the coal miners now. Trump was already trying to open us. Thanks for opening us back up. You shut us down just to reopen us. Thank you. He taking that check to the bank laughing all the way.
Yeah, and I can hear
But,
the unions for the coal workers now. Cool, pay raises all the way around.
Well, the thing is, though, Biden already has a car manufacturer scared. Buick has already sent out a notice to all their dealers. If you are a licensed Buick dealership, you got two options. Go electric or we'll buy you out. Toyota, they haven't done the buyout option, but what they have said is, doesn't matter. We're producing electric vehicles, whether you like it or not. Now you got to go through training. Ford, same thing. You can either do one of two things. Stay gas, that's fine, that's all you're going to do. Or do retraining and you'll be a completely electric distributor.
I'll stick with gas until they can figure out a way that I can plug my car in. And I don't have to set up that station for 6 hours till it charges up. I'll stick with gas.
What are you talking about? Martin Luther King.
And there's
Doug.
one guy they caught out in,
About the
I
Martin
think it was out in
Luther
Nevada.
King.
It's on YouTube.
YouTube.
I forget what the label is, but look up
It's what my nose today.
EV supplier closes down his booth. And here's why. This guy came up, he was using a gas-powered car. He's watching one charging station over there, the other three are tarped off, he's already tarping off another. He said, are these out of order? The guy that runs the gas station says, no, they're not out of order. He goes, why are you tarping off? He said, well, I've been tarping them off for the past year. Tesla hasn't paid me their rent. They owe me $45,000 off of these three. Haven't gotten a dime, so I'm tarping off this one too. He goes, that leaves that one right there that guy's using. He goes, yeah, if they keep it up, that'll be tarped off too.
They're going to have to come out with a unified plug so you can go wherever.
Oh, you know, that'll never happen.
I mean, can you imagine driving a Ford and you got 3-prong and everything around's 2? Like, right. Okay, well, my car just died. And you see somebody like me pulling into a gas station. See you later, bud. Get in my gas-powered car and just drive away.
See, Dad made that sound so simple. What it's really going to be like is, yeah, we'll pull up to the gas station. No, please stop. Okay, stop. Anytime now, you can stop. Fuck, $40 for 2 gallons? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll pay.
Well, just like the guy said, he put it on Facebook. They had that big storm last year. And it was a short video of a gas truck driving down, giving everybody 2 gallons of gas.
Can I get
And he says, imagine if you were driving
He said, yeah.
driving an electric car. Now imagine if you're driving an electric car. Can you imagine somebody trying to drag a charging station behind you as you're freezing to death? In 6 hours, you'll be warm. Yeah, you're dead.
I think Biden forgot about that survival instinct, didn't he? Because if you go to a complete electric car, how much fluid do you need?
I'm just saying, if you're in the middle of if you're in the middle of a hurricane and everybody loses power and you're driving along in an electric car and the 4 guys behind you's got a gas-powered car
That's kids.
and your car dies, where are you going to charge it? But you can still pull up to a gas station itself and still get gas.
No, I know what you're getting at, but I was just thinking too. Right now, everything in a car is flammable. That's what they always tell you. If you're really in a desperate situation, and the last thing you do is set your car on fire.
Yep.
Well, that's why. Now, if you're going pure electric, last time I checked, you're going to be down to very few oils and whatnot going into that car.
Yep.
There goes your last chance of survival. What are you going to do? Huddle up next to your solar generator? Plug your battery? Well, keep me cold for the next 15 minutes before I die.
No, what you need is the DeLorean off Back to the Future.
Right.
It ran off of garbage. No, it's a joke. This country cannot afford to go all electric. There's no way in hell it can.
And even Elon Musk, and for those of you who don't know who he is the CEO and founder of Tesla. Even he said, he's making millions off of his EVs right now. Even he said, we cannot just go all electric right now. Gas power, petrol is still the way to go. So when you got the top EV manufacturer and bestseller out of EVs telling you, hey, stick to petrol. Maybe you should listen. But again, I'm an idiot. I think logically.
I mean, would I love to see? Do I really want to see wind powered plants when I open up my back door?
Right.
I really don't want to see it. But if I have to choose between that and keep polluting the environment, I'll choose the wind turbine. Even though they're noisy as hell. If you've been through Kansas, you know they are noisy as hell.
Now I want to be
Even
the
Illinois.
smart ass though that goes. I can see an airplane pilot trying to make an emergency landing going, well, last week there weren't fucking wind turbines there. Now where do I land as he plows through 50,000 of them? Would have been a safe landing. Way to go. Go green.
Go green. You're making it sound like going green is a bad thing. Actually, it's a good thing, but you got to do it in stages.
It is, but it's got to be done appropriately. And the way we're doing it is not appropriate. It's being fast-tracked, and anything that happens fast-tracked is a recipe for disaster.
Like I said, we got here in Illinois too, there. His state in Kansas.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, but like
No,
you said,
the
fast track,
biggest wind farm is out in Kansas.
kind of like the COVID thing. Fast tracked all that. Now you see it all over TV. For the rest of your life, you have to have a booster shot. Jeez, seriously?
I'm not getting a booster shot.
Like, wow, because they say after the first 2 or 3 years, it loses 50%.
Sorry, that folks, tap the table.
You got to have another booster. Well, if that's true, then you're going to have a booster for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Gizmo, there your daddy.
Wait till they start charging you for it.
Yeah, no, they haven't charged for that yet. But now you can't get the COVID test for free. Now that costs.
There you go, see?
So it's only a matter of time.
There's no such thing as free.
Which I would still want an answer for this. And I know I'm never going to get it, but I would love an answer. And I know Dad's going to try to answer this because I can already hear the wheels turning. Okay, you want an answer? I'll give you one. Just wait a minute.
It might not be right, but I'll give you one.
You'll probably be stumped. You'll probably I got nothing. Anyway, anytime anything big happens, like the pandemic, okay, for example, we'll start giving away free medicine. But yet, we didn't or haven't and didn't give away free anything for cancer patients. We haven't given anything free at all for AIDS patients. Anything like that, it still costs. But heaven forbid someone dies from COVID.
Yeah, the super flu.
Like I said, I want an answer for that. Why aren't cancer patients given their treatments for free?
Money.
Well,
There's
no
your answer.
Shit.
Money.
Why?
Haven't you been watching the news?
Why?
Haven't you been watching the news? Now they're saying COVID patients have to get boosters. Do you think they're going to keep giving it for free? They're going to charge you.
Yeah, but the
Freddie
thing
Mercury got all his medical and all that when
Missed the
AIDS first
question.
came out. When AIDS first come out, I'm sure he was one of the test patients. Probably didn't cost him a damn dime because they didn't know anything about it. Now they know. So they charge you for it.
What I'm getting at, though, is regardless, if you're going to start giving away free shit, why shouldn't you be giving away the medicine for free to begin with?
Because they needed you hooked on this COVID thing, so they can start
I'm not even
charging
talking about COVID. I'm talking about the cancer.
any of it. That's why you're guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Everybody in this country and in the world with COVID was a guinea pig to see if it worked. Now that it works, they're going to charge you for it. It ain't free. Just like none of the stimulus checks are free. None of it's free. Eventually, they're going to come back and they're going to get their money out of it. It ain't free.
So
Nothing.
your answer is, back in the day, the cancer treatments probably were free?
Yeah. You were a guinea pig back then. Let's see what this does to you. Okay, well, that kind of sort of worked. Oh, damn, you died. Okay, that did not work. Now let's try something else. Because it didn't work. Oh, yeah. There's just because the law says no such thing as trial by humans, just walk outside. Breathe the air. Trial by humans.
Which always gets me if someone sees me smoking a cigarette. You know, if you don't even, this is healthier than what I'm breathing in right now. That's exactly what I tell people to. Don't even. Although I will admit, there was one guy I let him talk. Thankfully, I did because he approached me. I was smoking up a cigarette in Quincy outside the Walmart. He comes up to me and says, "See, you're smoking a cigarette." And I don't know why I didn't spit off my one-niner, but for some reason I didn't. I was like, "Yeah, I am." He goes, "Cool. You know, I'm a vet. I fought for your freedoms. I fought for you to do whatever you want. You want to have your cigarette? There should be no one on this fucking planet that tells you otherwise. You go ahead and enjoy that one." I'm like, "Well, thank you, I will." But that was cool to hear. Usually it'll take 10 years off your life. It'll take 10 years off your life. You know that? Well, you know what I have to say to you? You can have those. That's the wheelchair shit in my fucking diaper fucking years. I don't fucking want them.
I was getting ready to say the same thing. What was that? David Leary said it best.
Yes, they did.
Oh,
Those
I
are
will
the
have
years.
my beer. I will have my cigarettes. You can go kiss my ass.
but you also forget about your grandma.
Hell, she lived to be 86.
She started smoking when she was 18.
And she lived
And
to be
my
86
grandma was
years
a
old.
chimney smoker. Hell, half the time she forgets she had one lit, and you go like, "Grandma, you gonna smoke that one?" "Yeah, I'll smoke that one too."
And she lived to be 86 years old.
Am I done yet? No? Okay, hold on.
You still got 2 more in the ashtray. But no.
There's a horse.
Medicine in this country will never be free. Canada, you can go to any hospital you want. England, Spain, France, you can go to any hospital you want. They don't charge you. They take it out of your taxes. The United States is not like that. They'll give it. Say, okay, yeah, here. Here's your inoculations. Cool. It ain't cost me nothing. Yeah. 5 years later, you go to get it. Are you shit? $50? 5 years ago, the motherfucker was free.
Not only that, but for you,
I could say, though, smoking made her blind.
she need her carrots.
I thought that was masturbating that made you blind.
Only if it gets in your eye.
There you go.
You're only good till you wipe it.
All right.
You're blind for like 2.5
Yeah, haven't you ever
seconds.
heard smoke itch in your eye?
Yeah.
Bitch burn, as we call it.
Just like they say, beating off of, it'll cause you to go blind. Really?
Yeah, here's the thing,
Now,
too.
don't
For
get us
you,
all wrong. We love my mom and grandma.
Oh, hell
We
yeah.
just love bacon on her.
She
Bless her
still
soul.
picks back.
Yeah.
I know. She throws hangers at your mom in the middle of the night.
Oh, Bobby Louie's getting into it, probably.
But for you that think that living in a socialist country is so great, all right, let me tell you something. I've done enough research on this subject to pass a lifetime. Socialist countries have a higher tax rate. Their medical plan is run through the government, and you get half of what you can actually get if you just go get your own insurance. Most of these people living in a socialist country are more than happy to go and get their own shit and not be dependent on their government whatsoever. Why? Because it's cheaper. So for you guys out there that still say America should be a socialist country, and there's a bunch of you out there, I'm going to lay off the voting shit, but there's a lot of you out there that go ahead. You know what? Spend 5 years out in Ireland or New Zealand or Switzerland. Go for it. 5 years. And then come back and tell me if you still want America to be a socialist country. Because I guarantee you, you'll change your fucking tune real goddamn quick.
Sure about that?
Yeah.
I'll play the bad guy on that one. England is a socialist country. You know that, right? England, Spain, France. Yeah, they take all that as
In
taxes.
Canada.
Yeah, and Canada's one of them. They take all that. But when you retire, everything's free. They pay you to live there. You don't have to, there's no social security or nothing. Once you retire, and they have a certain age in them countries where you retire, your medical's free. They pay your rent, lights, utility. They pay you. You get it all back in your later years.
Yeah, and that's if you accept government rule.
Exactly. As long as you live long enough to do that, you can.
I'm sorry, I would
But you
prefer
are-
just to have my own retirement plan.
You are
and say
correct.
I didn't live off the government.
You are
I'm
correct.
not going to live off the government
You are
rule.
correct. The medical and all that, yeah, it's cheaper to go do that. And that way you have the government and your insurance that covers everything. Yeah, you are correct on that. But on the flip side, when you get to retirement age, unlike the United States, where you got to keep working till you're 90 and you drop dead in the assembly line, you can actually retire at 60 years old, kick back and buy your boat and spend your declining years fishing and all that.
But as I was telling Mom,
there's
and Dad,
always
the
a
last time
trade-off.
I was over here, though, I took a look at my my check stub, and normal stuff's on there. The only thing that was missing, though, my Social Security tax.
And I asked Flood about that, and he
It's
told
not
me.
there.
I asked Flood about that, and he told me about that. They changed the rules for Social Security. You only pay Social Security for so many years, and then you don't have to for so many years. Then they'll come back and they'll charge you again for it. You've already paid your quota for this year, so they're not taking it out of your check yet. They will again when the quota comes back. You've already
double
paid.
check that next year, see if it's on there.
That's what Flood told me, and he's pretty smart on all the political shit. He keeps up on all that because he's like you. He's a paranoid, schizophrenic motherfucker that hates the government. And yeah, he checks all that. Because I looked at it, because I told him about that. I was like, you know what? I guess, and I told him, I said, Brandon said that, and they're not taking this, and he's like, really? He goes, you do realize a couple of years ago they changed that. You only pay so much in each year. And then you go back and start paying it. I'm like, really? When did they do that? He goes, about 10 years ago.
And I was one of those that always checks my check stub, see what the fuck's coming out. Mainly just to make sure the child support payment came out. But anyway, while I'm doing that, I do look at everything else. And as far as I knew, it was always on there.
It was when I was working.
Interesting. For guests of you that watching, pay attention to your check stub, see if that actually is true or not. Guess we'll find out.
He's going to have an extra long session this time. It's been going for about 2 hours now.
Fucking train. Welcome to the Midwest, folks. You're not getting your food or your alcohol without it.
Hey, don't forget the truckers. Your uncle's one of them.
Yeah, I'm not forgetting the truckers at all. It's just the trains do a heavy workload.
Yeah, they do. I just hate it when they slow down and stop on my fucking tracks when I'm trying to come home.
That's why it pissed me off when the shutdown was happening. Everybody goes, I got a backup plan. Yeah, well, truckers can take care of it. Okay, one, they're overworked as it is. Two, there's stuff that the train can haul that they can't. Smart move, but I guess that's what happens. You get senile and old, you forget shit.
What was that on Facebook? All the people standing on the dock waiting for that boat to come in.
Walmart.
Yeah, and everybody's like, want to shop at Walmart? Here you go. And you got like 1,000 people out there going, pull in, pull in.
Or Amazon.
And you got all them security guards out there at Billy Clubs going, like, what are we going to do?
Well, all right, folks, that's enough for me here. We covered a broad range of subjects. Hope you all enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, join the family. And if you have been a family member, you know someone might be interested, tell them about us, you know. Love to see the family grow. All right, that's enough for me. I'll catch you guys in the next one.